Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. Today, we're continuing our 5-year rebuild series here on the YouTube channel. Today, we're doing the Utah State Aggies. Now, Utah State, I don't know much about them except for the fact Jordan Love came out of this school a few years ago, and that they're not that good right now. No offense to the Utah State faithful. Again, College Football 26 is on the horizon. That game's coming out. If I don't rebuild a team this year, there's always next year. So we're doing Utah State. I think this helmet looks, by the way, very cool, very clean, very crisp. Kind of the reason maybe why I'm doing them today. But right now, Utah State, they come in as an 80 overall, 79 on the offense, 81 on the defense. They run the veer and shoot, and a 4-2-5 defense. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here is the Utah State roster. They have quarterback Spencer Petras, the, of course, Iowa transfer. They have Bryson Barnes, who I believe is the Utah transfer. We have C.J. Tiller, who will probably be maybe our future quarterback, we'll see. And then Jacob Conover. Running back, we have Rasul Fashion. I probably butchered it. How about Robert Briggs, 92 speed? And we got Mr. Herschel Turner, 74 with 89 speed. No fullback receivers. We got Jalen Reynolds, who I believe got drafted this year. I don't know to what team, though. Kirsten White as well. We have Bowman with 95 speed there. It's all right, receiving core. We have Brock Lane, the senior tight end, and then we have a freshman, Grayson, at 49. Maybe he develops. Cole Motes is our starting left tackle, left guard. Wyatt Bowles, Bryce Radford, starting center. We have Maui, right guard, right tackle. We have Tegan Anderson. Left end, we have an Anku Magago. I probably butchered his name. I'm bad with names. Sorry if he's watching. Right end, we have Marlon Dean. Their D tackle, we have Miguel Jackson. We have this freshman. We'll see how he develops. We have freshman Tanner Williams at left out. Couple middle linebackers there. I mean, looking at the team, it's very junior and senior heavy. We have Noah Flores from Sandy, Utah. We'll see how he develops here for us. Yeah, man, this team, it's looking a little mid. I'm not going to lie to you. But we got to recruit, so let's get going. Thad Dobbs, committed. George Gillingham, committed. Alex Chicolo, committed. Josh Middlebrooks, committed. Joey Bitonio, committed. Afia Ilajanilalia commits. Dion Awesome committed. Raekwon Dorsey committed. Rudy Merlinger committed. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 Heisman Trophy winner is, of course, Will Howard, quarterback from the Ohio State. He had 3,564 yards, 42 tutties, and 4 picks. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, taking on Arizona State. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we fall 28-21 Arizona State. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here at the year one stats, Spencer Petras had 3,089 yards, 248 for 436, 26 tutties, 16 picks, 56% completion percentage. Rushing, Fashion, 139 for 828, 9 tutties. Petras, 6'7 for 200, 2 tutties. Briggs Jr., 39 for 131, 1 tutty. Jack, 13 for 64. How about the receiving? White, 6'4 for 1,035, 7 tutties. Jack, 63 for 636, 12 tutties. Jalen Royals, 37 for 525, 3 tutties. Lane, 35 for 432, tutties. Rasul, 32 for 236. Otto, 12 for 182, 2 tutties. Briggs, 5 for 45. How about the defense here? 110 tackles for John Miller, 74 for DJ Graham II, 73 for Clyde. Dixon, 63, 55 for JD. Jordan Vincent, 52, 46 for Ike. Miguel at 44, 41 for Blaine. Tax slots, Blaine Spirals with 10, 9 for Bo, 5 for John and Miguel, and Marlon Dean, 4 for Clyde Washington, 2 SK with 2, along with Anako. DJ Graham Jr. with 1, Dickinson, Drew, May, Sly, and Gabriel all with 1. Sack, 7.5 for Dean. Spirals with 6, same with Jackson, 4 by Bo. John with 1.5, 1.5 by Clyde. Gabriel with 1.5 sack for DJ Graham. The second interception, 6 by Dixon. DJ Graham with 3, along with Larson, 2 by Drew, and 1 by Clyde Washington. Overall, year 1 was kind of a disappointing end, I guess we could say, but we are on to year 2. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, what an interesting year 1 natty we had. We had Ohio State taking on Missouri, a rematch from their Cotton Bowl a few years ago. Missouri cannot get it done, though. Ohio State does it, 28-13 the final. Noah Allison committed. T-Tum Ayato commits. Stanley Sale McKenzie commits. Tano Letauli committed. Hunter Barth committed. Grant Bucky committed. Peyton Pierce commits. Dom Squat commits. Dylan Hampston committed. Derek Moore committed. Robert Pope committed. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 24th best recruiting class in the nation. That's the best in the Mountain West. Year 1, recruiting was good. The season was not. Maybe year 2, we win a bowl game. LaMichael Yanti committed. Ofaisa Alufohani commits. Paul Bullitt committed. Chuck Ferris committed. Ricky Rush committed. Darren Diggs committed. Sam Tonga committed. Anthony Van Roten committed. Dave Camp commits. Vince Harper committed. Nate Brooks committed. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 Heisman Trophy winner is Jalen Daniels, quarterback from Oregon. He had 3,905 yards, 47 tutties, and 4 picks. And ladies and gentlemen, we have made the Hawaii Bowl, and we're going to be taking on the UMass Minutemen. J.J. Buchanan committed. Carlos Ortiz. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here in year 2, we lose a bowl game once again. Our goal was to win one, but this game, 24-13 UMass. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the year 2 stats. C.J. Tiller was our quarterback. He had 3,346 yards, 266 from 433, 26 tutties, 21 picks, 61% completion percentage. Russian Briggs, 160 for 789, 3 tutties. Page, 21 for 179, 4 tutties. Tiller, 63 for 152. Turner, 10 for 15 with a tutty. How about the receiving here? Page, 77 for 1,031, 10 tutties. Otto, 47 for 806, 10 tutties. This guy, Chase, 43 for 627, 6 tutties. Jack, 46 for 455. Briggs, 47 for 386, and Davis, 6 for 41. How about the defense here? 104 tackles for John Miller, 84 for Logan Billy, DJ Graham II with 71, 63 for Larson, Dickerson with 60, 51 for Sheldon Jr., Dean 48, 45 for Senai, Taylor 44, 43 for Tatum, Bo with 40 tackles for loss, Bo with 11, 8 by John Miller, 7 by Dean, 6 by Senai and Tatum. DJ Graham with 2, Grant Bucky with 2, 1 by Ike, Terrell, Harris, and Stuart. Sacks, we had 9 by Tatum. Bo with 5, 4.5 for Senai, 4 for Marlon Dean, John Miller 2.5, 1 for Grant Bucky and Terrell Taylor, and also Max Alford. Interceptions, we had 5 by Sheldon Jr., 2 for Ike, Dixon with 2, 1 for Tatum, and DJ Graham and Simon Harris and Logan Pilley. I think the goal for next year remains the same, just win a bowl game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your year 2 natty was Texas A&M versus USC, with USC coming on top 34-27. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to inform you, we don't have a year 2 offseason, as my controller is fucking broken. I apparently have stick drift where my left stick goes fucking all over the place, and we accidentally sim to next season. So we don't know what recruiting class we don't know what we did in the portal. All I know is we are now fucked. Otis Watford committed. Frankie Carinon committed. Matthew Cahill committed. Adonis Orberg committed. Daryl Bulger committed. Jalen Chester committed. Melvin Beckner committed. Kona Sadavia committed. Quincy Azar committed. Jake Novak committed. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 Heisman Trophy winner is Rocco Benchett. I don't know his name. I've heard it, but I don't know. Anyway, he had 3,253 yards, 39 tutties, 8 picks. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the Arizona Bowl, taking on the Kent State Golden Flashes. Ladies and gentlemen, we've finally done it. We won a bowl game, and we won the Arizona Bowl. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the year 3 stats. George Gilliam got the start. He had 3,250 yards, 278 for 422, 29 tutties, 14 picks, 65% completion percentage rushing. Turner, 164 for 679, 12 tutties. Gilliam, 134 for 621, 6 tutties. Adonius, 27 for 64 with a tutty. Dom, 17 for 52. Receiving, Dom, 73 for 9, 84, 10 tutties. Page, 55 for 669, 5 tutties. Dion Awesome, 44 for 577, 7 tutties. Chase, 37 for 55, 3 tutties. Turner, 49 for 328, 1 tutty. Adonius, 9 for 109, 1 tutty. Rudy, 8 for 104 with 2 tutties. Olsen, 3 for 24. How about the defense here? 92 tackles for this guy. Logan Pilley, 91, 63 for J.D. Drew, 53 for E.J. Fiss. Noah, 51, 47 for Teague. Tanner Williams, 45, 44 for Terrell Taylor. Tackles for loss, 6 by Grant Bucky. This guy with 5 along with Tanner Williams and Tatum. 3 by Pilley Flores as well. 2 by this guy, 1 by EJ, Malik, Nate, George, Dylan, and Jamie. How about sacks? 7 by this guy, Tanner with 5.5, 4 for Grant, T-Tum with 3.5, 2 for that guy, 1.5 for Logan, a half sack for Jamie. Interceptions 4 by EJ and JD Drew, 3 by that guy and Terrell Taylor, 2 by Noah Flores, and Logan Pilley with 1. I think next year we can make the playoffs. Maybe I'm dreaming, but we shoot for the stars here at Utah State. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it was an all-ACC showdown. Clemson taking on Stanford, and Stanford comes on top 24-17. Jared Gore committed. Miles Quincy committed. Marquise Thorpe Taylor committed. Michael Harrison Pilot commits. Ryan Blum committed. Eric Vildor commits. Devin Robinson committed. Sissy Vallis Halia commits. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we try to fill whatever positions we needed because we didn't have an offseason last year. This year, we don't know how we did in year 2, but year 3, we finished with the 41 best class in the nation and the best in the Mountain West. Year 4, our final year recruiting. Tyrone Bibbs committed. Jamal Alexander committed. Montrell Barr committed. Matt Raggins committed. Jawan Mayers committed. Tevin Gizzy committed. Gene Cal Cat Area committed. Emmanuel Colossus committed. Devontae Lacey committed. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to our first Mountain West Championship here in this rebuild, taking on San Jose State. Denton Duke committed. Anthony Cadella committed. Ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have finally won the Mountain West. Let's go. And ladies and gentlemen, your 2027 Heisman Trophy winner is Luke Kromahoki, probably butchered his name, quarterback from Florida State. He had 3,282 yards, 44 tutties, and 7 picks. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the New Mexico Bowl, taking on the UTEP Miners. Ladies and gentlemen, we lose to the UTEP Miners 31-21. What? Ladies and gentlemen, here are the year 4 stats. George had 3,307 yards, 242 for 369, 31 tutties, 8 picks, 65% completion percentage. Rushing, Turner, 168 for 663, 6 tutties. Gilliam, 125 for 529, 3 tutties. Rudy, 16 for 154 for 3 tutties. Adonius, 21 for 92. Anthony, 7 for 57 with 2 tutties. Tiller, 12 for 26. How about the receiving? Dom, 59 for 994, 7 tutties. Dion Awesome, 56 for 757, 12 tutties. Merlin, 51 for 749 tutties. JJ Buchanan, 41 for 551, 1 tutty. Turner, 43 for 375, 3 tutties. Anthony, 9 for 87, 1 tutty. Jackson Olsen, 2 for 29, or 2 for 19, 1 tutty. Adonis, 1 for 6. How about the defense here? 101 tackle for Dave Camp. This guy with 80, 67 for Noah. Sweat with 66, 53 for, I'm not even going to pronounce that name. 49 for Nate Brooks, 46 for Devin. This guy with 44, 41 for Bulger. 9 tackles lost for this guy. Nate with 8, along with Dylan. Dave with 7. Noah with 4, 3 for Tanner. Jamie with 2. 1 by this guy, Devin, Miles, Tanner, Josh. Sacks, 8.5 for Nate Brooks. Dylan with 7.5. This guy with 3.5. Tanner with 3. 1 by Jamie, this guy, Tanner, and a half sack for Dave Camp. Noah, Caden Sweat, and LaMichael Yancey. Interceptions, 2 by this guy. Dave with 1. Devin with 1. 1 by Noah. 1 by Sweat. 1 by this guy. And 1 by Bulger. It is put the chips in the basket. We're going all in. We're on the next year. And ladies and gentlemen, it was Nebraska, Oklahoma national title, and Oklahoma took out their belt and put it to the ass of Nebraska. They beat them 37-6. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 27th best class in the nation here in year 4. Chips are in the middle. It's all or nothing. Let's win an Natty. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know when you see the screen, auto recruiting on. Let's get to sitting. Let's go win a Natty, hopefully. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are currently 8-1 here in year 5. Our only loss is to number 10, Oregon. We're ranked 15th, and we got some easy opponents, I should say, but you can't count your chickens before they hatch. Let's get to week 15. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are 11-1. We're in the Mountain West Championship, and we're going to be taking on the Colorado State Rams. And ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We've won the Mountain West. I think we just secured a bye into the playoffs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the Capital One Orange Bowl. We're going to be taking on the number 4 ranked Wisconsin Badgers. Here we are at the Hard Rock with a bucket of oranges on the line. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. We've made the playoffs for the first time in this rebuild. Gilliam has been our captain, our savior, our leader. He's been carrying the program as far as he could, and we are now here in the Orange Bowl, Wisconsin. They're going to be tough. They're ranked number 4 for a reason. But if we win, we go to the semis. We got to fight. We got to fight. We got to fight. Let's go. Alrighty, here we are. We're down 3-0, but we have first single out the 8. Gilliam going to hand off to number 30, Bagent. He's in. Touchdown, Utah State. Dion Awesome with a 71-yard touchdown to give us the lead, 28-19. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. We take down the number 4 ranked Wisconsin Badgers at the Hard Rock. And now we get to take home the bucket of oranges, get some vitamin D on the plane back. On to the semis we shall go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl, and we're going to be taking on the number 1 ranked Washington Huskies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in Glendale, Arizona, home of the Vrbo Fiesta Bowl. We're taking on the number 1 team, Washington Huskies. They're going to be tough, bro. They're number 1 for a reason, but if anything I know about Utah State, we have heart, we have soul, we never give up. Gilliam has been carrying this team, so we need him to carry us today. He needs to have a big game here for Washington. If we win this game, we go to the national title, so we got to fight to the end. Believe. And if we believe, we'll take down number 1 Washington. Let's go. I love how the clock accelerates in this fucking game. Here we go. Let's see if we can try to get something here. Let's go. Squat! There we go! Yeah, EA Sports, you want to make the clock accelerate? I'll just get a touchdown on my own, motherfucker. 10-10 at the half. Let's go. I thought we made the extra point before half. I was wrong. That's why we're going for 2. Here we go. Gilliam gets it to Baguette. Baguette's in. 17-10. Here we are. 1st and 10, down 3. We got him! Van Roden! He's going to house it! Touchdown, Utah State, but I think we scored a little too quick. There's going to be plenty of time for Washington. Defense, you got to make a stop. 1 stop wins us the game. Here we go. If we get the stop, we will win this game. Here we go. Camp. Oh, I couldn't stay with him. He's too fast. Oh, no. They're in field goal position. No timeouts for Washington. 16 seconds. This is the game. Camp, stay with him. All right, they're going to throw it away. 9 seconds. 2nd and 10. 9 seconds to go. Here we go. Just don't let them get open. Out of bounds again. 4 seconds. Here we go. This is the game here. 4th and 10 to go to the Natty. Camp. Got him! We got him! Dylan Hampson! He's in there for the sack, and we will take down the Washington Huskies, and we will now advance to the national title. Gilliam, we did it, buddy. Everybody, it's not just Gilliam, it's you. We did it! All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the national title, and we're going to be taking on the Iowa State Cyclones. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, Jerry's World, Arlington, Texas, for the national championship. I don't think we've ever seen Iowa State make the national championship, of course, of us playing it. But yeah, Iowa State, they're here for a reason. They're here to win a national title. I believe Rocco Beck is still their quarterback. But we have George... Oh, never mind. Rocco Beck is probably not here. Anyway, we have George Gilliam. We built a good squad. This is time's now. The chips are pushing. It's time to bring it home. The chips are in. Let's fight till the end and bring the national championship home to Utah State. Ladies and gentlemen, we're down 23-3. Yeah, we're getting our ass handed to us. If we can score here, go for 2. We can somehow maybe come back. I'm going deep. I've got Dom, what a play! All right, we got to score. Go for 2 every time here on out. Here we go, and defense has to get stops. Here we go, George. And that's an underthrow. 2nd and 10 here. 2nd and 10. Here we go. And it's picked. That's probably the game, folks. That's probably the game. 4th and 6, we might as well go for it, I guess. Here we go. See if we can get a touchdown. It's over, man. It's over. Iowa State is just better than us. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was a disaster. We got our ass handed to us.
Iowa State was the better team, folks. I mean, we didn't have our best game. We did not play our best game today. We played like absolute dog shit. 23-3. I mean, the score sells. We didn't play our best game. And it happens sometimes. Yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks. It sucks. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we didn't play our best game. I felt like we built a good squad. Gilliam was the guy. He just had a shit game. I mean, it happens, man. But Iowa State, I think, was just a better team. They fucking shut us down. I mean, they scored only 23 points, so at least it wasn't that bad of a blowout. But, you know, you win some, you lose some. I mean, we'll get Utah State, of course, again next year. I felt like we had... Yeah, I mean, the transfer portal, of course, you know, if we would have had that, maybe it would have made our team a little bit better, but I don't think it would have helped in year 5 if we're being honest. But, you know, man, we gave it our best shot. Just George Gilliam, he carried us so far. He just shit the bed the final game, and of course in the Natty, you can't have that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you have enjoyed, hit the like button, hit the sub button. When you hit like and subscribe, you guys motivate me to keep doing this. And yeah, man, leave a comment. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, gets my content out to more people. And yeah, man, I'm going to get out of here, so I want you to have a great day or have a great night, depending on when you're watching this video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. I'm out.